All right, let's get the road on the show. This is episode 504. And I went back into the penny roll bag from my last bank run. And uh, I found this is a second one I found in there. I did one, I think, episode 502, and it had quite a bit of copper in it. Let's see which way I want to open it up from. So I said, you know what? We only got one more. Let me excavate it. And sure enough, it looks like there's quite a bit of copper here also. I don't know. Could be, might only be 6 or 7. Could be as much as 10. All right. But still pretty good. Better than our last one. Even though the last episode only had about 6 coppers and 2 of them were double dies. So if you didn't see episode 503, you should check it out. It was good. We got 2 really nice double dies that were pretty obvious. They were good examples of double dies on pennies. Hopefully I find a couple here. Look at the E. And 1. See, the letters, just for your own information, they use different fonts. Make sure that's not a strike through. That could be a strike through. But if you notice, the letters on the bottom of 1 cent have serifs, right? The little points at the ends have serifs. And then if you look at the letters on the top, they do not have serifs. It's a different type font, typeset. Let me look at this mark. So yeah, that could be a strike through. It is. It's a little shapy. I mean, maybe it's not a strike through, but it could be a strike through. That's what I'm saying. It's a little shapy. Let me check out that N while I'm here. It's hard to tell. That's about that. This is hard to tell. It's probably nothing, no big deal. Just some minor mechanical doubling, most likely, and probably not a strike through, but interesting nonetheless. All right. 1992. Looking for the close AM. No close AM. That's $100 penny. Yeah. See, if you look at the letters on the bottom, you see they have serifs. The letters on the top do not have serifs. They're just close ended. Huh? What's this? Just a little discoloration. Is that a water stain? Yeah. Tops of the letters, I'm sure you noticed they have a little mark on them. I'm assuming that's just mechanical doubling. Kind of interesting, though. I have to say it is interesting. Oh, wow. That's pretty, right? Has that kind of oily appearance to it. Just has a nice appearance. Nice, not appearance, is that the right word? Tone. Tone has tones. I've had people leave me comments that they like finding toned pennies. No white AM. They like finding 1982s. Everybody has a different bag, you know, things that they're interested in. Shiny pennies. Doesn't really matter, you know, it's whatever you're into. It's such a cheap hobby, inexpensive hobby, that whatever it is that you like about penny roll hunting, you could be into. It doesn't really matter. It's not, you know, it's not an expensive habit. It's not a it's not a bad habit like smokes. Our first copper, first copper of the day. It's not a cancerous habit like smoking is or drugs. It's uh it's a relaxing hobby, right? Not a bad habit, a relaxing hobby. Another nice toner. Really nice. Maybe this will be our thumbnail. Trying to get those colors in there. How about the light? There you go. All right. Let me put this with the other toner. Which was the other one that we found? This one, right? Or is it this one? No, it's that one. Right? Because the one before this, that wasn't the toner, right? No, that was just the surface. It was nice. Couple toners. One copper penny so far. Not good. I mean, I could see the other copper pennies there, you know, but I kind of like it to be a little bit more sprinkled about, you know. See those fingerprint marks right there? That's not because of oils or acids. Most of the time, the fingerprint marks you find on a coin, but specifically especially a penny, a U.S. penny, it's because of the something that was on the pen, the dirt that's on the penny. You know, pick it up off the floor, and then you're just putting your thumbprint all over it. You know, that's all. But it's because the penny already has some sort of chemical or residue on it. So when you touched it, it put fingerprint marks. But when you pick up a penny or you find a penny, you're not going to put gloves on. Oh, let me put these gloves on. Hold on, sir. Before you give me the change from the cash register, let me put on these gloves. You know, and that's a really good example of how overboard some people get with their coin collection. Look at the surface on this one. Look how paradoxical it is. Very, very odd surface. Both sides. Just odd looking. You know, people put on gloves, put on gloves. And then next time someone says that, what I'm going to ask them is if they put on gloves before they get their change from the store, from the grocery store. Hold on, before you give me that change, let me put on gloves. No, you don't do that because that would be stupid. How cool is that? What is that? What's going on here? You know, so the glove people, think about that. When you go to the store or you go to a restaurant and you pay cash, do you put gloves on when they give you back your change? No, because that would look stupid. And that's all I'm dealing with here is circulated change. That's really cool. I don't know what caused that, but it's pretty cool. You know, so the whole use gloves is dumb unless you're dealing with an expensive coin collection. You know, you're dealing with proof coins or something like that. You know, then keep staring at one of these coins over here. It's not a proof, but it is very shiny. All right, how many coppers we got? 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, expensive coin collections, yes. Proof coins, yes. Circulated coins, you're not going to make them any more circulated by touching it a few times. So you got to be really careful with the nonsense. It's so, especially if you're new to penny roll hunting and you're watching videos, it's really easy to get sucked into. Man, there's so many. Anyway, so many people you shouldn't be listening to out there. Oh, look at this, we got a dime, a dirty dime. All right, got a dime. Put that into our jar. 2023. No extra B. I used to let all that stuff drive me nuts. That's worthless. Who cares, man? That's worthless. It's not worth, that's only worth face value. Who cares? But they don't tell you why. If you ever ask any questions online, the answers you get will be hollow. They'll be empty. They'll never tell you why, right? You know why? Because they don't know why. They're just random dummies on online, and on forums. They're trolls. They're trolls. So beware of the trolls. They're just there to bust your chops, and they're very negative people. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are mentally ill, just mentally ill people who are trolling on, and just busting people's chops. That's not, and it's probably because they had their chops busted by someone who was mentally ill, and they're passing on the negativity. So don't pay any attention to any of that nonsense. As a die clash. Don't pay attention to any of that nonsense. I don't. It used to bother me so much because I didn't know. I'm over here saying, "Hey, what do you think about this coin? What do you think about this penny? That's worthless. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop wasting our time." I used to be like, "Damn," and I used to feel bad. They used to hurt my feelings. I'll be honest with you, they used to hurt my feelings. Not anymore. First of all, I know better now. So that's one thing you could learn about if you watch my channel enough. Watch all my videos, man. You will learn. And then when you get trolled on, it's not going to bother you because you're going to know. No white AM. Has a little bit of a grease strike on the states. See how light they are? When people troll on you, like I know now, right? Nobody could troll on me anymore. People try. Oh, that's worth a penny. Yeah, no kidding. It's a penny. Like, hello. You know what I mean? Hey, check out this 2020 I got. Look how nice it is. Oh, that's only worth a penny. Yeah, no. I want to curse so bad. No kidding. It's only it's worth. But what's your point? You know, Mr. Obvious. You know, they're just busting people's chops. And then I block them, of course, so they can't spread your negativity here on my channel. Go find somebody else's channel to do that nonsense with. Here goes another toner. No white AM. I'll put it with the other two. Got 3 toners now. Probably the way the person stored the coins. Yeah, so don't let anybody bring you down, man. It's hard in the beginning. You got to make it through that. You got to learn, man. If you don't learn, forget about it. Then, you know, I guess it's partially your fault then if you let people rag on you. No, I spent my time studying. And now when people say something to me, I know the truth. They can't, you know. Found a few copper pennies in this penny roll hunt. Not too many. What do we got? 1, 2. Only got 5. I guess that's what 2025 is going to turn out to, right? Less and less copper. I mean, thank God I have a bunch of old penny rolls. But these, this is from the most recent, no white AM, from the most recent bank run I made, and little on a skimpy side. But it is what it is, man. That's it. If I could turn back time, blah, 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 blah. That's it, man. You know, I got a strike once for singing a song. Not that it matters. Well, you want my 25 cents? I get a quarter for every long video I make about 25 cents to $1. You want it, you can have it. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Nothing to write home about, but it's part of the process. I got a little mechanical doubling on the 5. God bless. Let me check that out. See that? A little mark next to the BDB. Looks like a strike through. Let me tell you, that's a strike through. Unfortunately, it's just a little mark. You know, if it was a little bigger, if it looked like something, if it looked like a V from the VDB or a D or the B, whatever it was, look at it. See it? I'll point to it in case you didn't see it. But that's a strike through. It's very small, and it doesn't look like anything in particular. Just a piece of scrap metal that probably fell onto the blank. Just click like and subscribe.